Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a nice summer evening. It's actually cool here in Pittsburgh tonight. I mean, like probably about 70. Let's see. In response to some people trying to decide on airline tickets coming into Rochester on August 5th. Yeah, late in the afternoon is fine. But the to fly back out on on Tuesday, the 8th, you want to make your flights probably late in the afternoon, again, 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, because we're about an hour and a half from the lake, maybe not quite an hour and 15 minutes. So when we get finished up at noon on Tuesday, everybody gets packed up. It's usually around 2 or 3 o'clock before we get up to the drive up, Rick. That's again, that gives you an opportunity not to get off track here. Did Epson do per two of no Epsom salts? I see what you're saying. All right. Oh, Epsom salts are what you soak your feet in, but I guess there is a food one. Yeah, plan to drive up, Rick, because not only is it a lot of things to do, gives you get a day or two to just kind of tour the New York State countryside. Lots of interesting spots around there. Not too far away is the Cooperstown Baseball Hall of Fame. You could probably spend a whole 3 or 4 days visiting interesting sites. So with that, yeah, and for those of you that are planning to come in, yeah, we've had a lot of people fly in, rent a car themselves, come to the lake, and then they spend another couple of days touring the New York countryside. And I say that because a lot of people simulate New York like New York City, but the New York State, upstate New York farmland and the Adirondacks and all those places are just very nice countryside. Okay, so with that, we see that the market is still in this slow uptrend, and as again, our criteria for goofing this all up. Criteria for being in an uptrend is we just want to stay above the T line, as we're seeing here in the Nasdaq. Even though it traded down, look what it used for support today. And I guess the transportation index is still showing a little bit of resiliency with a J-hook pattern possibility. So once again, if you see a couple of the indexes trading up and a couple of indexes trading down, it's telling you there hasn't really been any major change of investor sentiment. It's just profit taking in one sector to the other. Let's see. Oh, you can see what's happening in crude oil. It's still trading below the T line. It's pretty much gotten to this level. So crude oil, we're not playing it or any of the crude oil stocks until they get crude oil back up above the T line. Okay, I'm doing a sound check because I'm getting a little notice. Can everybody hear me all right? All right. Keep getting a little box popping up saying broadcast connection not good. So the reason we can check each or have a visual analysis of each, I'm going to say, futures like crude oil is it tells you which sectors might have strength. As we can see in gold, gold popped up the other day, is still failing, still on its way down. But Labu gave us that message to be looking very strong into the biotechs because of the doji hammer gap up through the resistance level, telling us we got a lot of stocks to look at in that area. Same scenario over here on Cara in the biotech area. Big bullish left-right combo, very strong price move since then. We're making lots of money on VRX ever since it did the bullish flutter ticker. So we want to be in the areas where obviously we're seeing strength, because that's putting all the stars in alignment. If we know that the market's not selling off and we can see which sectors are acting the strongest, then we can start going into finding out which stocks have the best patterns, knowing that we're getting everything in the right condition. Meaning market is not selling off, the sector is strong, now we find the best stocks in that sector. All right, and we also have the opportunity to be able to, there's our doji sandwich on our recommendation of FRTA, that if it started back up, at least we knew where our upside potential was. That if it popped up here, we'd have a good 50% upside. And then we also know when to be out of a trade. Grub looked pretty good. But the one lesson that I've learned about a gap down below the previous day's open is you don't have to sit and wait to see what it's going to do. Close it out. Because very rarely will they open down here and then come right back up again. Now, I say that very rarely. Which one was? I can't remember which one it was. I'll figure it out. There was one that they opened up lower the other day because they were announcing a new offering. Wasn't Shopify. So anyways, on something like Grub, close it out immediately. Again, for two reasons. One, the probabilities are that it's not in a good uptrend anymore. There's something wrong. And two, the longer you sit here and say, like me, with a Smegmo, okay. The longer I sit here and say, oh, maybe they'll take it back up and it's still good, I'll sit there and I'll spend probably 90% of my time trying to figure out what to do with this trade instead of moving out of that position and moving on to something that has a good trade trend to it. And then by the end of the day, I say, why didn't I sell out here? Why didn't I sell out here? So anyways, if you see it up down below the previous day's open, close it out. Yeah, Smegmo, well, here was a case too where when they announced the new offering, we could see immediately they were starting to buy. So that makes for a very simple entry and exit strategy. For example, I don't know what Grub did, but when I looked at it, it was still trading down here. But if it opens and starts trading up, the warning was all immediately the gap down. So if it traded up, you simply put a stop below the open, because logic says if it comes back down through there, they're not taking it up. How about going short immediately? You don't know immediately, because what it might do is just hover right here, and then for the next few days go this way. So now you have the prospect of going short. And a lot of times, yeah, that is true, that if you see something gap down and immediately starts trading down, yeah, you want to be out of the trade and going short. So the reason you're out of the trade immediately is so that you've got the mental wherewithal to say, all right, This is a kicker signal setup. Let's get out of this trade, or I'm out of this trade now. I should be thinking about going short. If you stay in the trade, you're not thinking of going short. You're thinking, oh, maybe it's going to come back up to let me out. You're thinking completely opposite of what the chart is telling you. TBBK needed something. And as you can see, you are in the classic. There's your fry pan bottom J-hook pattern. You can still be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. CMT we recommended because it did a left-right combo, then confirmed. If you didn't buy it today, watch to see about buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. BlackBerry. Here's one, like same scenario. And if you shorted on weakness and then immediately started seeing it move up, especially if it came up through the halfway point, I start thinking about covering the short position. Then what's my worst case scenario? If it came back down through this level, I can re-short it. So this that kicker signal didn't work, because if it's a kicker signal, where's the last place you should see it trade? Back up above the open of where they gapped it down. We're watching this one. Little GNMX doing a bobble breakout. And look where it's doing it, right here at this resistance level. Get ready to buy this one on positive trading. I wouldn't, because it's a $1.40 stock, I wouldn't put a whole lot of money in it, but it's probably going to be a fun one to trade as far as percentage-wise. No, BBRY is not a buy at this point. Yeah, you're still below the T line. I probably wouldn't be looking at this one right now until you see something more compelling. Eros, if you haven't bought it from down here, look at the J-hook pattern. Next target should be up here at the 200. We're still holding this because it's never closed below the T line. Another fry pan bottom on NTNX. We're still holding this one, but now looking to see if it's going to break out through this level. CLSD, kind of a big scoop type pattern. Logical target is up here at the 200-day moving average. Stay long on this one. Now again, when you get up here in the overbought area, just put protective stops on. So if this opened positive tomorrow, we'd immediately put our stop here. Today's open. If it started moving up tomorrow, then we'd put our stop, move our stop up to that day's open. Edit, gap up from a Harami, kind of a cradle pattern. You stay long. You can even be buying this one on positive trading. Let me make this bigger. You can see, use the 50 as support today. If it opens positive, it's telling us the 50's they're knocked back down to test it. Was there a new offering? Oh, yeah, we're staying long on this. Was there a new offering reported today? I know there was. That might have a report, but you stay long on INFN. Cala was a little bit scary today, but it came back up above the T line. You pretty much want to see this open positive tomorrow. If it opens lower, starting to assume that this downward resistance level is going to continue to act as resistance. New Link, this one has a good chart, indecisive, but it has to open positive. If it opens lower, close it out. It's not performing like it should. And that's the advantage of the doji rules. You know which way it should be trading based upon how it opens. ENZ, big move, consolidation, that bullish Harami immediately tells us that the profit taking's over. That's why we got into this one. And now it's a nice steady eddy, and we're just staying long until we see a sell signal. APTI, stay long until you see a sell signal. Should be wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. MGM, just stay long. Square has gone flat. So it has to open positive and trade positive to stay in it. If it opens lower, you can see how the trajectory, especially after that big sell signal, that if you got back in, you don't want to see it come back below the T line again. That's telling you the bulls aren't there. And Acor, all you can do here is stay long with the anticipation they're heading for the 200-day moving average. The biggies, Amazon has lost its trajectory. There's your left-right combo. So you had a big sell signal. You had kind of a dark cloud, not quite a dark cloud, but a bearish belt hold, and a left-right combo. Oh, Bob, did you get my message about the flights? Left-right combo. So if it opens lower, I mean, it's lost everything. Yeah, so that's, again, that's why we take a look at the ETFs, or the, in this case is the ETFs because there's no biotech futures. But when it broke out, let me make this smaller. It kind of broke out through this downtrend. That told us we had a wave, and a wave. So that basically tells us the biotechs are acting strong, so we want to be looking at the biotechs. Yeah, I'm just waiting for her to bring down that delicious concoction. It was enough to knock a buzzard off a honey wagon. Geesh. Apple, there's nothing here. We want to be someplace else. Tesla's getting a little bit easy up here, but as long as it stays above the T line, you can stay with it. So this one basically has to open positive. If it opens lower, your left-right combo, and then not holding the T line. Oh no, here comes Nurse Cratchit. Hold on, this may take a minute. Yuck. Oh, man. Oh, man. Boy. Yeah, I'm only allowed to have water. I didn't even go for fruit juice. Yuck. Oh, man, I got to drink some more water. Boy. Okay. I'm glad you could all experience that with me. Guess it's like beating your head against a wall. It feels so good when it stops. Oh, I think I'm drinking raw Epsom salt. NVIDIA. should be out of this. Again, there's that close below the T-line. So NVIDIA's not got anything going for it. And light, another biggie that we were trading, it's lost its trajectory. If it opens lower, you shouldn't be in it. Right now we're not in it because there really hasn't been anything real strong, but it was back up above the T-line. We're waiting to see another strong signal. Okay, for some reason, this won't come up over here. GSM has got a good looking chart, but it won't come up over on this chart. So Hudson, there's your big morning star signal. If it opens positive, it's probably bringing you back up into this trend trajectory, so upside. That's right. You don't want to drink this stuff. Man, oh man, it's bad. Now, Best Buy, that's a good-looking chart also. So those in the options room will probably going to be looking at an option strategy on this, because at least coming back up to this level, there's probably some good spreads to put together. Well, what's happening here? GTT, we might have to come back to that. PBYI. Look where the doji is, right here at the breakout area. If it opens positive, you can be buying this one. Another one to be going after as far as an option trade setup. ORBC, another good J-hook pattern. Doji, no, and this is one of the features you want to kind of keep in mind, that every time they come back and use the T-line as support and bounce back up, pretty much tells you that the T-line's acting as support, obviously. But the important factor is, since nobody has the T-line on their chart, I mean, we've got the advantage of seeing where the support level is, that natural support level. Oh, are you hearing static in the background? Jim, is your microphone still on? I don't know whether Jim might have left his microphone on or not. Okay. What else do we got? PTI. This one you can buy on positive trading. Notice the T-line crunch, the fry pan bottom, the double bottom. If this opens positive, it's got a lot of running room. That one's being recommended tomorrow. LNTH has a good chart with the lack of a signal here. So you're probably in a uptrend, but whenever you see a situation where there's no signal, watch to see what happens at the first resistance level. That's all right, Jim. We were just listening to what was going on in your house. COH, be ready to buy this one on a positive open. You can see the slow curve breakout. Yeah, I had a while back when we were doing I think it was a Thursday night session. We finished up fairly late, and then there was a couple out of California that said they got up in the morning because they heard voices downstairs, and he pulled his gun out of his bedstand and went down looking around, and finally realized it was me talking again the next morning, that they hadn't turned their microphone off the night before. Anyways, I like to wake people up like that. GV, there's your slow curve breakout. has the prospects of coming back up to test this level, giving you about a 15% upside. At NTRA, there's that breakout. Now, remember, a T-line crunch doesn't necessarily have to be at a technical level like a moving average. It can also be a resistance level. So you can see how they crunched it right back up through that level. No, we got to remember, Marshall, where a shooting star occurs. Stochastic should be up here. Just because it's a formation doesn't necessarily mean it's a signal. Going back to the basic, that if you see a candlestick buy signal in the overbought area, it doesn't really mean anything. NTLA, nice scoop type pattern. You can be buying this. Notice the double doji setup. Price still has some more slingshot effect to the upside. Whoops, we just did that one. Chem was setting up the hammer. Just keep watching this one. If it opens positive, you can be buying with the expectation it's going to come up and test this level. But the important level will be that area. If it breaks through there, now you're in your next wave to the upside. So when you're looking at something like this, where you have a hammer bullish confirmation, you know if it confirms you're in an uptrend, then you at least know that if it comes up here and fails, you had a little bit of a profit. But if it goes through, you've got in early enough to get a big profit move. And FIT, left or Morningstar signal, left-right combo, doji sandwich. Look at this one. If it comes up through the 50, there's going to be a lot more upside. And NVGS, good rounding bottom, good percentage move to get it back up to the moving averages. Icon, again, there's that slow curve breakout. Usually when they break out of a slow curve through the resistance level, that means there's going to be more upside. I think that was kind of the same scenario on Kara. And there's kind of a good little buy signal, broke out through this level. This is MTSI. So we know that if it opens positive, it's going to continue to trade positive. Again, that same scenario over here in Kara. If it opened positive, it was going to continue to trade positive. And these are the type you want to look for. If it opens positive, what do you have? You've got your bobble breakout, J-hook pattern. And if this is wave one, where's wave three going to? Probably up here to the 200-day moving average. SSW. There's that fry pan bottom. There's that slow curve bobble. You can be buying this one, another one that if it keeps moving, the next target is up here at the 200, giving you a good, basically a 50% upside potential. CMTL, J-hook pattern. Get ready to buy this one on positive trading. AMX. You can see where the bottom of the trend channel is. You can see where the top of the trend channel is. You at least know where your upside target is. That's kind of the same scenario as CNX, CENX. There was the bottom of your trend channel. Whoops, still got that stuck on there, don't we? It could go up to the top of the trend channel, bringing you up into this area. So that's just trading the channels. Oops, I did CNX. The advantage we have for trading the channels or whatever pattern or what everybody else is watching is that we can see exactly what's happening at the support level and the resistance level. And I say we can see exactly. We don't have to wait for 1, 2, 3 days of confirmation. We know if we see a buy signal and it confirms right on a strong support level, we can be buying. And salt, nice pattern. Now you have a doji, and this is where the visual analysis becomes a great benefit. Look where the doji occurred, right here at this level. So if it opens positive, what do we have? A doji sandwich breakout, giving us a lot of running room to the upside. And let's see, just got a couple more here. Some, again, that trend channel. That might even have the prospect of coming up trajectory, but notice what you got here. The little cup and handle setup. And NK, setting up for a J-hook pattern. Another one that if it opens positive tomorrow, you can be buying immediately with wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Notice how wave 3 is starting with a Morningstar type signal and kind of an inverted hammer doji. So being able to identify the signals and the patterns gives you that much more, I want to say, upside benefit of knowing where you should be in a situation at the appropriate time. So this would have had us out. Notice what happened up here. A shooting star gap up. That told us we should be looking for selling. Then we also have the opportunity to find out which ones where the selling have stopped. So the J-hook pattern is making this one a viable trade. Okay, with that, that's about all I got for tonight. A lot of good patterns still. Are there any general questions on candlesticks? All right, I guess then, Jim, go ahead and do the double line. And then 4.8 seconds, do the next double line. Oh, I think we did no, we did AMX. AMD, there you did a left-right combo. So what's your expectation? If it opens lower, they're probably coming back to test the T-line. Take your profits and then wait to see what it does back at the T-line. AFSI, that's a good one to be buying, especially if it opens positive. You got the T-line crunch going up to the 50. NH, I don't know why we get a few of these that are not coming on. Huh. Gary, NH just isn't showing up for some reason. It's there, but it's not. Pandora, I expect it to open positive and trade positive. You're basically right here on this downtrending channel. If it opens positive, your next target is the 50. If it opens lower, that downtrending channel is telling you that that's the resistance level. That's not quite a fry pan bottom. Yeah, I mean, you got the characteristics of it, but more so you got the Morningstar signal, the gap up, and then gap up through this level. So that's, again, one of the biotechs. So here's the simple rule of a J-hook. If this is wave 1, that's going to be the same magnitude for wave 3. So you can kind of calculate where wave 3 has the potential of moving. Here's another case where you've got the J-hook bobble breakout. With it pulling back, now there's the prospect of it coming back to test the 50. And then at that point, you see whether it's holding. If it does a buy signal there, you can be buying again. Buy like this situation right here, where it came up, came back, tested the 50 and the T-line. You get ready to buy this one on positive trading tomorrow, because what's that tell you? You've had a strong gap up. You had consolidation at the 50, and if they supported at the 50, where's your next target? The next major moving average. That's on Haas. IONS, just stay long. You're in the overbought area, so pick a spot like today's open as your stop. If it comes down through there, the profit taking has started. MTRX, well, it looks like it was, now I'd still consider that a doji type day confirmation. And you're coming out of this little slow curve, and you're coming off this base. So yeah, that's enough of the signal. I mean, you had your doji bullish confirmation, consolidation. This is all confirming this reversal. So no, that's still a good looking chart. Store, gap up, look for a 45 degree, targeting the 200-day moving average. ITSE, notice the T-line crunch. How do I keep getting these things here? T-line crunch. First target is filling this gap. I don't know where that is. Right about there. If you don't see a sell signal, then your next target is up here at the 200-day moving average. GR or GWRE, that's a little bit, alertive that they can't get through this level. Tells you if you're long, it has to open positive and trade positive. If it opens lower, that tells you this level is acting as a resistance. You close out the position, and then you get ready to rebuy it if it comes back up through the highs. But if it trades lower, it's pretty much telling you that top resistance level is still acting as resistance. This one pulled back, came back up above the T-line. You're still in the 45 degree. And CWST, nice slow J hook. You stay long on this one. TA, another nice little breakout. You can be buying this one with the expectation it's coming up here to the 200, or I'm sorry, to the 50. So if you're buying this one on positive trading, just don't let it close back below the T-line. We did grub when it gapped down. If you were long, you should have been out immediately. That's telling you that the bullish sentiment is disappeared. Now you can be looking at it as a possible short. Inverted hammer, bullish harami. You can be buying this one. Just make sure your volume is pretty hefty on this price stock. Oh, Steve, if you didn't get one, just email Abraham at Candlestick Forum and tell him you want the link. Oh, wait a minute. I was supposed to send him the recordings, and I haven't done it yet. I'll do that tonight. And I'll write it down right now because apparently I forgot to already. Abe, PowerPoints of weekend. All right. Okay, we did VRX. As a safety, you use the today's open as your stop, but it looks more like that's a breakout of a fry pan bottom. Let's see if there's a little bit more. If they break through this level, we've got lots of running room to the upside. SMG, the bigger the signal, the more compelling there's been a change of investor sentiment. You can be buying this one, preferably on positive trading. If it opens lower, it needs to stay above the T-line and the 50. But right now, it looks like the uptrend should be in progress. Whoops. Oh, nothing here. Yeah, just not a chart that I'd be going after. Now, if it was UPSN, that's the one that we've been recommending. There's your J-hook pattern in progress. You stay long on this one. Facebook. If you, yeah, see, it's still having a hard time getting out of this range. Same scenario here. If it opens lower with a dark cloud right at the resistance level, I'd close out the position because that tells you you're stuck in a sideways pattern. Oh, MP on probably a $10,000 account and you're just getting your feet wet with candlesticks, I might do maybe 3 at 3,300 or 4 at 2,500. The important factor is until you really get yourself comfortable, you want to have enough price movement or enough value in each position so that your commissions still don't become a factor. So I would have 3 or 4, but the whole process would be those 3 or 4, you analyze. I mean, that's why I have 10 positions maximum or 12, so that I can go through and say, all right, this one doesn't look good, but I've got 5 more positions that look good. So why stay in something that doesn't look good? Move to something else that's better. So that is part of the learning process of how you cultivate your money management to keep your emotions out of your trading. And you're always upgrading or improving your probabilities. Well. So that you're always in good positions. AMAT. Needed to open positive and trade positive. I'd be ready to short this one if it opens lower tomorrow. We did these. Netflix, probably the best out of the biggies right now, but it needs to continue to trade positive. Let me make this bigger. Needs to stay above the T-line. Apple, there's nothing on this chart that would make you want to be either long or short. Mossy, you can get ready to buy this one. Make sure your volume is good. Boeing, just stay long as long as it stays above the T-line. IMMU. Just stay long on this one as long as it stays above the T-line. Avis broke out today, so expect more upside, but notice where it kind of resisted. Let me see if I can do this. Almost hit the resistance level. But right now, if you're long, you stay long. If you're looking to go long, look for a 45 degree to come off of here. And Hertz had a decent looking chart over the last few days. This one you can still be buying. Just watch to see what it does once it gets to the 50-day moving average. Adobe, nothing exciting here, except you're in this steady uptrend, you just stay long. A stick sandwich is a green, then a red is green, red, negative. Let's see, stick sandwich, green, red, green is positive, yes. Yes, and red, green, red is negative. SIG, yes, if it goes up through the 50-day moving average tomorrow, you want to be a buyer. Next target would be the 200-day moving average. BLCM. You stay long. It's not real strong at this point, but as long as it stays above the T line. Now, I'd probably use today's low as a stop, but if it came back down in that direction, you're probably stopped or you hit the resistance level right here. And GPro, little scoop type pattern. If you're looking to buy this one, you could be buying it on the basis that once it gets to this level and breaks out, now you've got a scoop pattern that could be acting pretty strong. AMRS, another one that definitely needs to open positive, and you definitely need to have a lot of volume in this one. If you're down in the $3 area, you want to see stocks that are trading close to 1 million shares a day, just so you can get in and out of them easily. On several biotech stocks, there has been an offering. You have a strategy for managing the gap up. On several biotech stocks, there have been an offering. You have a strategy for managing the gap up. The gap down, Maria? No, a lot of times, if a stock is in an uptrend and they come out with a new offering, they knock it down because everybody says, oh, that's more, I want to say stock available. But then the smart money comes back in and says, well, if they're putting out new stock, it's because they're growing fast enough. They need more financing, and so they'll let the stock be part of the financing. So usually they'll come right back up after a few days. Cool, not quite a dark cloud. However, if it probably traded back down below today's low, I'd probably take profits with it anticipating it's waiting for the T-line to catch up or it's coming down to meet the T-line. So it needs to open positive and trade positive tomorrow. IPI, nothing wildly exciting here. You can get ready to buy it if it opens positive, but until it breaks out, there's nothing great here. Is there any difference on candlestick body color of a left-right? Well, your first day, which is usually a doji, it doesn't really matter what the color of the day is. But the second day, if it's a bullish left-right combo, yes, you need that big green candle. But the first day doesn't really make any difference. Because it's usually the body of a doji doesn't really matter. It's the fact that you see a indecisive trading day. Yes, Steve, that's what I need to send over to Abe is the slides, so he'll have them tomorrow. Fluxon, stay long. You've gapped up, which isn't bad, but for safety, put your stop at today's open. Stops on VRX, same scenario. I'd use today's open as my stop. And Kara, I don't know. Definitely should not come back down through this level, but I would suspect at least a 45 degree to come up off of here. How far above the T line would you place a, below the T line would you place a stop? I've seen intraday violations, but close back above. Remember, the candlestick signals are based upon where they open and they close. So even if they're trading below the T line, unless it's doing it because of something that can be, I want to say, if there's an announcement that takes it down and everybody's selling, you can sell intraday. But as a rule of thumb, I would say that 85, 90% of the time, that if you're in an uptrend and it's trading back below the T line, you give it to the end of the day, see what it does. Forget what did somebody say they got stopped out? Oh, because it was just below the T line? Yeah. So if you get something like that, where they come down and hit you and stop you out, flip to your 10-minute chart and see if they're starting to take it right back up again. There's a lot of times where, I say a lot of times, enough times to remember that if they stopped me out here and then I saw them take it back up, I bought right back again, which meant I missed out on 30 cents, but it kept me from holding on to something that when I stopped out that I shouldn't be in. But then when I saw them turn it around, I came right back in again. TCCO, big bearish engulfing signal after the gap up. If this opens lower tomorrow, take your profits. Oh, I don't know. Does Facebook have earnings soon? I don't know when they have it. AKM, not anything wildly exciting except you've got this big rounding bottom. Just see what it does once you get to the 50-day moving average. COL, nothing here of any great consequence. Now, if it does open lower, you can be going short because it would look like that this support level and the 50 support level have been breached. Allstate, same scenario. If this one opens lower, now you got a doji, so that's going to give you the message of which way they're taking it. If they open it positive, they're taking it back up. If they're opening it lower, you can go ahead and short it. IMGN, just stay long. Safety stop at today's open. Why were the pre-market futures down, but the Dow was up 100 points in the first hour? Your pre-market futures are based upon what traders are doing right before the open or during the evening or during the nighttime. And so that's why you don't, well, you look at the pre-market futures. Obviously, if the pre-market futures are showing that the market was going to open up down 100 points, that's significant. But I think if I recall today, the pre-market futures for the Dow are down like 7 points, and that means nothing. Just it tells you that nothing has happened. Okay, earnings on Facebook July 26th. So Dave, use the pre-market futures. Yeah, if it was down 7 points, it wasn't that significant. If it had been down 100 points, that would have told us, oh, there's a change here. They're going way below the T line. We did SIG. We're looking for the breakout on positive trading tomorrow. Oh, CVLS, CLVS. Whoops. What do I do there? Yeah, and I think Smegmo did the same thing the other day. So they had announced a new offering. And as soon as it opened lower, it started right back up again. That one doesn't come up, CV. I don't know why. I had another one, the GSM, and that one won't come up. So it all depends on do you avoid stocks that have a reverse split like AMRS? Not necessarily. I think there was another one. Was it ANRA? Had a reverse split. I think 10 or 1 for 10. So no, you don't necessarily have to avoid them. Rite Aid, big breakout. Look for a 45 degree. Okay, yep. So again, a rating company coming out and doing that. If it had sold off, that would have been one thing. If it sold off and did a signal, that's another. So that tells you there's probably going to be some more weakness. So you probably want to be out and get ready to come back in on the next, when you see the selling has stopped. Momo, nothing wildly exciting. You're in an uptrend, but it's very slow. If you're long, you can stay long, but definitely don't let it close back below the T-line. And Taco Bell, not Taco Bell, big bearish engulfing after a gap up. If it opens lower tomorrow, close it out because that gap up was your exuberance. And ALXN, same scenario here. If it opens lower after this bearish belt hold, they're probably coming back to test this level. On any weakness, I'd probably close it out. All right, thanks, Dean. Oh, Rad is being, that's right. And somebody, Fred is buying 865 of their stores. That's why Fred was up so strong. Oh, no, not necessarily. It just gives you a big bearish engulfing signal. All right. Well, we're right at 9 o'clock. That's unusual. We get done right on time. So with that, let's see. The ones that I will be looking at tomorrow. Whoops. Is a positive open on ORBC. SIG, a positive open. PTI. If this opens positive, breaking out through the 50. And NVGS is another good-looking chart. Those are the best ones that showed up. So with that, everybody have a good evening. We will see you bright and early in the chat room. We'll see you then.